I welcome you to our tutorial on Measure and Markup. With the Measure and Markup tool, you create 3D measurements and 3D nodes. Let's start with the selection of the measurement functions. You select the different measuring functions at the top of the tool. Directly activate one of the recently used functions. Or select one from the top-down list at the bottom of a button. We will now use the distant angle function to show you how to measure. Move the mouse pointer over the model and measurement references will be highlighted in blue. Then just click to select. Press the Escape key on your keyboard if you want to start over. A measurement preview helps to select the correct references. Use the filter to activate only specific measurement references. The plane filter activates flat surfaces. The edge filter activates straight edges and lines. The vertex filter activates vertices of surfaces and edges. For measurements on points, the direct distance and the distance in X, Y and Z direction is displayed. The circle filter activates circular arcs to use their center as reference. The point filter activates the measurement of 3 points on surfaces. The 3-point circle filter lets you pick 3 vertices to create a circular arc. Use it to select centers of circles that the common circle filter does not find. Text boxes and the reference points can be moved. 3D-Tool helps by limiting the movement in a reasonable way. Movable reference points are identifiable by their yellow color. Select the dimension you want to change. The active dimension has a red frame. Change the color, size and decimal places. The Change Dimension button opens a list of all customization features and also lets you delete dimensions. All functions and settings are also available by right-clicking on a dimension. Use Edit Info text to add informational text to measurements. Distance and angle automatically measures the distance or angle between two measurement references. The minimum distance in space is measured. Between points, this is not always the desired result. When measuring points to edges and surfaces, the minimum distance depends on the position of the edge or surface. Better for determining distances is therefore to measure between parallel edges and surfaces. If edges and surfaces are not parallel, an angle is measured. If you only want to measure distances, use the distance function. By that, the measurement of angles is switched off. Only measurements references are offered that allow distant measurement. Distance in x, y and z direction does not measure the direct distance, but the distance along the selected direction in the coordinate system. The following two measurements are made for better understanding. Edge length measures the length of straight edges and lines. Wall thickness measures the thickness of the material vertically to the surface at the mouse pointer's position. Clearance measures vertically to the surface at the mouse pointer's position, the distance to the next surface. Box measures the extent of a part or model along the X, Y and Z axis of the coordinate system. These are not the real dimensions for parts lying obliquely in the coordinate system. To get the exact dimensions, the so-called minimal box needs to be calculated. Radii and diameters can be measured in two ways, automatically or manually by selecting 3 points. In most cases, the automatic measurement should find the desired circles and arcs. These values are the X, Y and Z coordinates of the circle center. The measurement of 3 points enables the measurement of circles that are not automatically detected. Here the coordinate system is displayed in the view. Point measurements provide the X, Y and Z coordinates of points, useful for models located at a defined position in the coordinate system. It is possible to measure edge points, free points on surfaces and center of circles. Use the note functions to attach any text as well as special part information. Model info and part info nodes provide information on dimensions, material, weight, volume, and surface. Materials are specified in the Model Info tool. Volume and weight are only accurate for detect-free and closed bodies. Measure and Markup also provide information about cross-sections. For section parts, the cross-section info node calculates the cross-section area and the length of the section line. Surface info node uses the tolerance angle to define a surface area and to calculate its size. Use the background annotation to add graphics and text to the background of the model, such as a company logo. Place pictures and text in the upper left area of the display, as their size and position depend on the monitor resolution. Cross-section allows to examine parts inside a model. The Measure Markup tool can also be used in the cross-section. Also, the section line and its edge points can be used as measuring references. The Explode tool explodes assemblies with just a few mouse clicks, so you see internal structures and hidden parts. By default, the Measure and Markup tool switches off the exploded display, because not all measuring functions are available on exploded parts. But some basic measurements are also possible on exploded part. Just reactivate the exploded display. Several factors determine the visibility of dimensions and markups. There is an automatic and a manual show and hide. When hiding parts, all annotations that are on the part are hidden. In the cross-section, annotations on the invisible side of the section are hidden. In the exploded model, annotations will be hidden that become invalid due to the explosion. These are mainly distances and angles between parts. And lastly, there are a number of tools in which annotations do not work or would interfere, such as the tooling analysis. In the display group, dimensions and annotations can be completely switched off. While the list of measures and markups controls the visibility of individual annotations. This is where you turn single annotations on and off. Frozen annotations are invalidated by exploded parts and are hidden. Turning on and off does not take effect until the annotations become valid. Copy list copies the list of the annotations to the clipboard, so you can transfer measurements to spreadsheets or word processes. Now we are at the end of the 3D-Tool tutorial. Please take some time and give us your feedback. Thank you!